Hello and welcome. Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning. You are listening to And Another Thing. This is episode 13. We are Joella and Helene, and I said those around the wrong way, but I'm going to keep it because it still flows really, really well. It's been 3 weeks since I've done this, guys. I've forgotten my rhythm and routine.
I know, I'm scared. What if we've forgotten what we're doing? But she's back.
I'm back. If you are new to the podcast, welcome. And if you've got no idea about what I'm back from, I've been in New Zealand for the last 3 weeks. If you're not new to the podcast and you've been missing our hour-long episodes, we're back to our hour-long episodes. Everyone's like, it was only short episodes. Did you listen why? Did you listen why?
You've been away.
I have been away.
You got back Wednesday.
Early Wednesday morning. Yep. Do you want to carry on telling our listeners what we did?
Wednesday.
Yep.
We went for a coffee. You look very sleepy. But we had to catch up because, you'd been away for 3 weeks.
It was a very nice picture because I was sitting outside the cafe waiting for you at their little tiny, like the picnic chair thing.
Bench.
Thank you. It's not even a picnic bench.
No,
it's just a bench.
Just a bench.
Park bench.
Yes.
That's what they are.
A park
Damn
bench.
it. And then I look over to my left and you're waving at me down the street. If it wasn't a street that we had to walk across because there was road, I would have run to you and done the whole theatrical running and then run to give you a hug. But I had to cross the road in order to do that. So I just stood there and waited for you to cross the road.
But what was funny was I had been waving for quite some time, like a wally. I'm like, she's there. And I've got my arms and I'm woohoo kind of thing. I tried to whistle and a car came up and I'm walking a bit faster and I'm doing this and then so people driving past me, who is she waving?
What is she doing waving her arms? What's happening?
So we did that and then obviously you caught up with your family too.
Yep.
Thursday you worked.
I did. It was a little bit of a struggle bus. I think I did okay. I think
you
I was
did more than okay.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
I felt quieter, but I felt the waves of tiredness and everything hit me.
It makes you feel sick when you're
throughout the day. Yeah, it did.
Yeah. And then I don't remember what you did Thursday evening, but
Friday,
we had a day.
We packed it in.
We went to see Coldplay on Friday. Oh my God. It was awesome.
It was amazing. I'm going to take a minute to tell everybody how I found out we got Coldplay tickets.
Yeah.
So and then I'll tell my version and you can tell your version because I was in New Zealand. I got this message from Helen saying, how much would you be willing to pay to go see Coldplay? So then I replied with my message and then I carried on about my day, went to bed. I think a whole nother day passed by that point.
Yeah.
And then lo and behold, I just wake up one morning and all I see from Helen is, we're going to Coldplay, got Coldplay tickets. And I was like, what? That's awesome. What a way to wake up.
I had waited ages. Scott had been off that day. It was on a Wednesday that I got the email to say that we'd got them. And I messaged you and then I'm like, oh, she's not going to see this for ages because she's fast asleep.
Because it was the middle of the morning for me.
We got last minute tickets. It only took me about 4 days to find out we were going. And it was courtesy of Jeremy, who we work with. So thank you, Jeremy.
He's our concert ticket master.
He really is.
Yeah.
And he said they've released more tickets and you have to fill this in. And so we did, and then we got them. And we were on the floor.
It was a great spot.
Honestly, I wouldn't want to be on the stands.
No, not for a concert like them. Like we were down on the floor and when they released the big old balloons or balloon balls, we were a part of it and amongst it. It was
we'll post pictures. But what I really enjoyed about it is we've been to many concerts together and they're like dancey concerts. But this one was more of a jumpy, really enjoy yourself. And I really enjoyed watching you enjoy the concert.
I was like, I only started dancing at the very end. I think that's when I got another wave of aliveness.
Yeah, but it was just like, and I was jumping around and it was so good.
It was very good. It was a good time.
And it was at a new stadium, which has got a lot of heat about where it is and people can get into it. And
it's kind of like out in the suburbs a little bit and it's on an old airstrip and we've not been to it. Well, I've not been. Had you been to it before?
No, this is the first time it's been there, I think.
So we kind of didn't really know how to get there. We usually drive into concerts because, I mentioned to you on that night, we had not a bad experience on a train, but just we were like sardines on a train once before.
Awful.
And then there was some argy-bargy that happened on that train and It was just ridiculous. And the train wasn't going anywhere by that point,
No.
but we were all closed in. And I was like, never again. This
And
is
you're
ridiculous.
tired, and it's the worst journey home, and you've had such a good time, and then you've got this awful train journey. So now we drive in.
We drive in. And it doesn't matter how long it takes. It's like we're in each other's company.
Yeah.
We're in a cool car because it was over 30 degrees in that concert. It was an outdoor
definitely
concert.
a bit sweaty Betty, that one.
Very sweaty Betty. So I have a question for you about concerts.
Yeah.
I don't remember if I asked you this on the night. I asked the girls when I got back to work on Saturday, sorry. Is there a person that you could go to their concert and you would know every single song and you could sing along and dance to every single song? Because I was trying to think about it and I was like, I don't know. The only person that I can think of, only band, I went to go and see S Club 7. My 12-year-old self was living her best life. I saw them, I think, last year or the year before with my sister. I tagged her, brought her along. And I think I knew every single song except one. And I was bummed that I didn't know it. But I knew all the songs. I knew the whole lyrics. I was singing along. But there was just one song that I didn't know. So I wanted to know, is there an artist or a band that, hands down, you're confident to say?
Well, back in the day, before these bands released any new stuff, I probably would have known, there would be quite a few bands that I would know all of them. But then you kind of lose touch. And then when we go and revisit them or see them, there's lots of new stuff that I haven't heard. But I think, I definitely know that when me and Mum go to Neil Diamond, we know every single song.
Okay.
Every single one. Because I was brought up with that, learnt that. And I also think that when I saw Tina Turner, there wasn't a song that I didn't know of Tina Turner's. Oh, that was a good night.
You have seen some banger people.
I have, yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay.
There's probably a few of them if I think about it. But the thing that stumps me now is like in a few weeks' time, we're going to see Scissor Sisters and Kesha, who I really don't know a lot, but I probably recognise more than what I think. But Scissor Sisters, I know like a couple of albums, but I don't know some of their new stuff. So there's probably going to be ones I don't recognise there. But that happens. I lose touch. So what about Celine Dion for you? You would know them.
I think maybe I probably could do a lot of her. I don't know if I'm confident
Adele?
to say. I don't know a lot of her 19 album.
Oh, you'd recognise it, Pavement.
But I recognise, like, if she brought out some of her most popular songs from the 19 album, yep, I could probably do all of Adele.
Right.
I thought I was set with Ed Sheeran, and then I realised when I went to his concert, I was like, oh, I actually don't I recognise the song, but I don't actually know the lyrics to it, and I was a little bit disappointed in myself.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But that was just because there was one particular album that I didn't quite get on the train with.
See, that's what I mean. You've only got to miss one, yeah.
Yeah.
But when we went to see Queen, they just picked all of the well-known ones, so I knew all of those. Good times.
That was my concert question for you.
Anyway, Coldplay was amazing, and we got out super quick. We were in the car, bish, bash, bosh, 45 minutes later, a bag of popcorn and a bag of chips in us.
We had our midnight snacks in the car.
It was so good. And then you worked Saturday, and now it's Sunday. We have never done the podcast on a Sunday.
We're actually up to date with everybody. So an episode's been released.
Yep.
We're now fresh. So it's going to be released in the next couple of days.
Yep.
What is this podcasting life? It's like we're nearly professionals.
I know.
Nearly.
So,
not quite.
How was your trip? Let's talk about your trip.
My trip to New Zealand was so good. We haven't really touched much on how either of us kind of came to this country. I'm not going to go into it now. That's a story for a different time. But when I did come to Canada, I wasn't intending to live here.
Yeah.
And so when I left New Zealand, I came with a checked-in bag, a carry-on, and a backpack, and that was it. And so the rest of my belongings got packed away into a storage shed, which consisted of the shipping container in my mum's backyard. And it's been there for the last 6 years. And so this particular trip was a trip specific to the fact that I was going home to sort my stuff out. So if you know me and you have heard that I was in New Zealand and you didn't get a chance to catch up with me, I do apologise, but I also was quite quiet about the fact that I was coming over because I had 2.5 weeks on the ground and I had limited time to catch up with the amount of people that I would have wanted to. So I only caught up with a few people, but mostly I was there to sort my stuff out. And I did. And it was a lot of memory road things, a lot of chucking stuff out because I'm like, what the stuff am I keeping this for? I had a friend of mine who came down to just sit with me, and while she was sitting, I was unpacking a bunch of things, and I had a container, and I was like, Joanna, do you want some wine glasses? And she's like, yep. And I'm like, cool, that's yours. I was like, oh, look, I've got a cake tin. Do you want that? She's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, look, I've got ramekins. I don't need those. Do you want those? She's like, yep. So she went home with a 60-litre tub of kitchen stuff.
Perfect.
And she's like, this is great. This is like the freest shopping expedition ever.
But you got it all sorted.
But I got it all sorted. So that was great. I'm really, really glad that I was able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the flip side, I think I mentioned before I left that one of the reasons I didn't tell anybody that I was going was because my grandparents didn't know I was coming over. So this year, my grandparents, my mum's parents, celebrated their 70th wedding anniversary. And we did a very small shindig with them over the weekend that I arrived. And it was really great. Mum picked me up from the airport. We drove 4 hours north, and I hopped out the car, and my grandpapa did not know that I was coming.
That's nice.
And I got to surprise them straight away. So that was super special and really nice to spend the weekend with them straight away.
And then family members.
Yeah, and then some cousins that came up too. So it was just really, it was a great start to everything.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Did you sing Hip Hip Hooray?
No, because it's my birthday song.
Is it only birthdays?
It's only birthdays.
They don't do it here, I don't think. I've never heard it here.
No. So in Australia and New Zealand, do they do it in the UK?
Yeah.
Okay, in the UK, when you're singing Happy Birthday at the very end, Happy birthday to you. Hip, hip,
Hooray!
hip, hip, hooray.
Hooray.
You have to say it 3 times. Hip, hip, hooray.
And that's it.
But
Eat your
here,
cake.
don't they do How Old Are You Now?
It's, are you one?
What if you're 65?
Yeah.
Do you go all the way up to 65?
No, I'm sure you're just going to have to do it in tens. You did. You'd be there forever. But we hip hip hooray, and you have to do 3.
Yes, you do have to do 3.
Yeah.
What is this no hip hip hooray business? No one's hooraying at the end of your birthday song.
And then that's the permission to eat the cake.
Yeah.
After the 3rd.
Yep, because they've blown out
Hooray.
their candles. Who wants cake? Me, please.
Yeah, they've spat all over the cake, blown the candles out. So you didn't do
good.
any hokey cokey.
Also, I call it the hokey pokey.
That's what they call it here. Here is the hokey pokey, and I'm like, oh, that doesn't sound like that sounds like a bit of a rude game. Mine's the hokey
Hokey-tokey.
cokey.
Hokey.
Okey cokey. Sorry, I always say hokey.
Okey cokey.
Oh, okey cokey cokey.
Okay, I think I say hokey pokey, but I think there might be some debate that New Zealanders might also say hokey tokey.
Oh,
But it's always hokey. It's not okie.
mine's probably hokey.
But you
I
don't...
say hokey, but I don't know if it's okie. But we do knees bend, arm stretch, rah, rah, rah. There's no rah, rah, rah in
What
here.
the heck?
You don't rah, rah, rah about anything. It's
Well,
so
I mean, they're
boring.
not hip hip
just
hooray-ing, they're not
left arm in,
rah-rah-ing.
Left arm out, right arm in, right. You don't do any knees bend, arm stretch, rah, rah, rah.
No, we don't do the end bit. We do the arm in, arm out, leg in, leg in.
Whole body in, whole
Yeah,
body.
yeah.
Such
But
a
not
good
the
one for
rah,
kids
rah,
because it
part.
goes on forever. Well, you're missing out on the rah, rah, rah. You have to turn around
Goodness.
as well.
Yes, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. Oh, okay.
Oh, dear.
Right, moving on.
So there are a couple of things that I wanted to report about New Zealand. A couple of episodes we talked about tips, we talked about eavesdropping, we talked about patios and outdoors.
Eavesdropping.
So I took notes. Also, it was really helpful that I edited these. So I edited some of them while I was still in New Zealand.
So you remembered.
I was able to write notes and then make myself aware of them. So we talked about tips a while back, and I'm still adamant there is no tipping in New Zealand. I will say it was an absolute delight to get to a machine and the number on the end of the bill was the number you paid. It was fantastic. There was no tax not included that you had to figure out how much it was. There was no tips that you needed to figure out how much it was. It was just, that's the final amount. Yeah, bang. It was wonderful. Absolutely delightful. But I will say what I did notice is that there are a lot more tip jars
Right.
out the front by a till. It's like, oh, not that it's not uncommon before when I was in New Zealand, but I just found that there were a lot more places that had it. I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. I didn't put a tip in because why would you? It's never
I
been
think that
part
you're
of the
turning more
culture.
and more British.
Pardon?
You're turning more and more British.
No, but in New Zealand, it just
You just don't.
you just wouldn't. And the tip jar at the front is more just, oh yeah, I have some spare change.
Just throw it
honestly,
in.
who has spare change these days? Sure, I'll get it out of my pocket and I'll put it in there. But it's just not part of the culture. So no, I was not tipping. We talked about, you said that your experience in the UK, when you're eavesdropping on somebody, you find it easier to eavesdrop if they've got a British accent
Yes.
than a Canadian
I don't have
accent.
to be looking at their face.
I didn't notice a difference.
Oh.
Yeah. I sat, there was a point where I was at a cafe with a friend of mine and I could hear the girls next to us. And there was a point that both my friend and I stopped talking because we were both eavesdropping. I can't even tell you what they're talking about. It wasn't that fascinating for me to remember. But I do remember in that moment thinking, no, I can hear them the same that I can hear a Canadian.
Right.
So I don't have that.
You don't have that.
I don't
Okay.
have that difference. The other thing that I'd like to clarify is New Zealanders don't have patios. It's just do you want to sit inside or outside?
Well, what is the outside space? I was reminded that outside spaces at pubs in England are beer gardens, not patios.
Okay.
I had that reminder after somebody listened to the
To that one.
podcast. But what do you call the outside? Just outside?
It's just outside.
Oh, I
So
see.
irrelevant of whether there's a covering, irrelevant if it's a garden, irrelevant of where it is, it's outside.
Right.
So do you want to sit inside or outside? Pretty
Right.
practical.
Is it like just tables with umbrellas? It's like
Yeah.
it's exactly the same.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, not always have umbrellas. There might be some shading over top. There might not be some
Well, I
shading
guess
over top.
also it was winter
Just depends.
when you went. I keep forgetting that. Yeah.
There wasn't really a lot of outdoor seating.
No.
I really did. And another thing that I'd like to report
Mm-hmm.
is the kettle boiling situation.
Yes.
So you and I have talked about how long it takes for a kettle to boil in Canada.
Yeah.
So long, in fact, that I boiled my kettle earlier today. I sat down on my couch. I carried on watching my episode of whatever I was watching. Forgot that I had boiled the kettle because it took so freaking long.
Right. Yeah.
So I timed it when I was at my friend's house and took a picture of how much water was in that kettle. We'll put it up on our socials so that you guys can have a look. But in New Zealand, 2 minutes.
For your
2 minutes
kettle.
for 750 mils worth of water in there. 2 minutes. That's how long it took. You sent me a picture of your sister in the UK. She'd done it on her kettle.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to zoom in to see how much water she'd
It
put
was
in.
just under. I think it was slightly less than what you had put in.
Okay, so let's say like maybe 450 to 500 mils.
Maybe, yeah.
45 seconds. Here in Canada, 5 minutes.
5 minutes. I did
5
it
minutes
yesterday.
to
5
boil
minutes.
the kettle. So
See, you carry on. Sorry.
that's okay.
No, go. You go.
All right. So my sister mentioned something, then I Googled it, and then I put a few things together. In New Zealand, by all of the plugs, each individual plug, there is a switch.
Yeah.
Is there a switch in
Yep.
the UK? Okay. So you can turn the outlet on and off. So if you've plugged something into the outlet and your switch is turned off, nothing's going to happen. You need to turn the switch on, which I forgot about when I tried to charge my phone at my grand's house. I was like, it's not charging. Oh, I need to turn the switch on. Gotcha. Forgot. Which is great because one, it saves power when you have to pay the power bill.
Yeah.
Also, if your kid shoves something in that outlet, it's not going to do anything because it's the electricity's turned off. But upon Googling, and thanks to my sister, in New Zealand, the average voltage that runs through a house is 230
Oh, yeah.
volts.
That's exactly why the kettle's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew that. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's different.
I just
yeah.
thought that this country was shit when it comes to boiling.
Oh, no, it is that.
In
because-
Canada, just for reference, 120 volts.
Yeah, no wonder it takes 5
No wonder
minutes.
it takes so long to boil a kettle this side of the planet.
I bought like
Although
a steamer
UK's on this side
thing
of the planet.
for when we were over in England and I blew it up.
You what?
Like a handheld steamer for clothes, not an
yeah.
iron. So
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this will be great because we were going to Gail's 80th, Scott's mum's 80th. And I plugged it in and I broke it because too much freaking power. I forgot to take
Too
an
much power.
adapter. That was the end of that. It just didn't work. I'm like, oh, I've just blown it up.
So there you go. Some education for you about New Zealand.
Because we always wonder, because when there's a commercial break, when you're watching your Saturday night TV in England, before the times where you could fast forward,
Yeah.
you'd be like, quick, you could make a
kettle
cup
on.
of tea
Yeah.
and come back and then the show would start. But here, if you,
can
try and do that,
clean
I
your
have to
house, you can
walk-
have a shower, you can do all the things.
It's so inconvenient that it takes so long. But now we know why.
But now we know why. So there you go. That's my New Zealand tidbits.
Can I just throw in a couple of questions for you? They are New Zealand questions.
Yes.
So I'd like to know, when you go over to New Zealand and in a cafe and you say, can I have a tea, please? And you don't specify any kind of tea, will you just get your Tetley tea or orange pico, as they call it here? Or do you have to specify like they do here?
You'll get asked what kind of tea you want.
Oh, okay. So if you go into England and say, can I have a cup of tea? You're getting a cup of just regular tea.
Okay.
You
But
don't have to say.
English breakfast tea or Earl Grey tea?
No, you'd say if you want Earl Grey.
Okay. That's the one that you have to specify.
Yeah, you're never
Right.
going to just get Earl Grey.
Okay.
If you ask for a cup of tea, you're just going to get your Tetley or your Red Rose or whatever.
Yeah.
No,
No,
it's not even
in
called
New
Earl Grey.
Zealand, a couple of places that I went to, they will have their own tea list. And then some cafes will also have loose leaf tea. So then it will come out in its own little
Right.
teapot. So
But you
it's
still have to specify what tea you want.
absolutely.
When my mum came over here the first time and said that she wanted a cup of tea, the lady said orange pico, and my mum looked at me, she goes, I don't want orange tea. I said, no, that's what they call it. Just, I don't know why.
I was going to say, why do they call it that? Maybe it's because of the leaves and the flowers that make up the actual tea.
I'll have to Google it at some point.
We'll have to Google that one.
The other thing I want to ask you, is it grilled cheese or a toasty?
That's a toasty.
Yeah. The other day, Vic was serving somebody and I heard them say, can I have a ham and cheese toasty? And I'm like, oh, I need to go over. And then we had the whole tea thing with them too. So they said, can I
Were
have
they
ham and
British?
cheese toasty? And I said, it's, yeah. I said, I'm going to ring it in as a bacon and cheese, grilled cheese. It's just like a toasty, but I'll put ham in it instead. Mm-hmm. And can I have a tea, just an ordinary tea? And I was like, yeah, it's going to be an ordinary tea.
Were they British?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that toasty thing's happened before when I've taken something out. He goes, I thought it was going to be a toasty. And I'm like, well, I know what you're talking about. It's the same as a grilled cheese, except it's done more in like a, what are those machines called? Like a Breville, like sort of squash the
for
sides
us,
down.
It's called a toasty machine.
Yeah.
But to describe it to others who have never experienced that childhood delight, it's like a panini press. That's probably the best way to maybe universally describe something. So, or also similar to like a George Foreman grill, that aspect of two heated plates coming down together.
In the shape of a bread.
Yep. And so in a toasty actual machine, you'll either have a 2 toasty or a 4 toasty. And the 2 toasty will be, that's kind of like a cutout of a square piece of bread.
Yeah.
You'd pop your bread with its filling in there, and it's got a bit of
Put
like
bit
a
of butter on the
curvature in
outside.
it.
Yeah.
Yep. So then the filling can kind of sit in there, and then you bring the top down, and the top plate will also have the same indents and curvature. So when it's all grilled and done, you lift it up, and it's kind of like already pre-portioned for you. So you just chop them in half on a diagonal in the pre-portioned area. Boom, there's your toasty, and all the outsides have all been kind of like glued together.
Yes.
So that it's like an enclosed
What's your favourite toasty?
thing.
Cheese and beans, mine.
See, we had spaghetti, canned spaghetti.
Or spaghetti hoops. Or
Yeah.
Yeah.
So not spaghetti loops, just canned spaghetti.
Yes, yeah.
So
We had
my
that too.
one would either be spaghetti and cheese, or cheese and tomato sauce, which is ketchup.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah.
Mine was beans and cheese. Baked beans and cheese.
Baked beans and cheese. Yeah.
And on, this is just a side note, on a baked potato, because baked potatoes in England are a meal. You can have a jacket potato for dinner. Is it baked potato or jacket potato, first of all?
I would probably say baked potato, but I think jacket potato is also a used phrase in New Zealand.
Okay. So jacket potato can be a meal, and here it's more of a side.
Yeah.
So if you had cheese and beans, would you be beans first, then cheese?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, good.
Who's doing cheese first? That's not going to
Lots
get
of
melted and
people are
crispy.
doing cheese first and then the beans on top. It doesn't get crispy, it gets melty. But I always put my cheese on top.
Yeah, but don't you like put it in the oven a little bit, or even in the microwave, just to kind of like melt that cheese on top?
No, because
And
the
then-
cheese gets mixed in with the beans anyway and it melts for me. I don't do that.
Oh no!
But yeah.
Whenever we did that, it was definitely cheese on top, and then you put it under the grill for
Oh,
like
yeah.
a minute,
I
and then
don't-
it gets all
Well, I
brown
never do
and
that. I'm
toasty.
just straight in.
Oh,
Straight in from. But if you're really clever, you put a little bit of cheese in, beans, and then more cheese.
So then you get the real
So
cheesy
that-
experience.
Yeah. Right. On that note, do you have a cup of tea?
Yes. Let's have a pause. We've been so excited. This has been a very long introduction.
I know. I thought we might be like, oh my, what are we going to do? We could forget what we're doing, but we haven't.
No, let's
Straight
face it,
back
it's
in.
us. We can talk. All right, we're going to have a drink. We'll be back. Alrighty, and we're back.
And we're back.
So, how was your time of the last 3 weeks while I was away? Do you have any fun work stories?
It hasn't been too busy. I can't even speak.
It's summer. Summer, though it's hot. It's so
My
hot.
God, it's hot.
Oh my goodness.
And I know last year the air conditioning wasn't working, but our air conditioning doesn't like it. And when I first moved to Canada, I'd have to take a sweater with me to places or a jumper because you go in and it would be like cold. And I'm sure that's still the same in a lot of places. And I know it's because we're running around and working as well. But, oh boy.
It's very warm in our workplace.
Yeah.
So while I was away, I was at the beginning of winter. So I think max we might have hit maybe 15 degrees. I think there might have been a day where it was 22, but it was beautiful 22. But under 15 degrees, I was living my best life temperature-wise. Yeah. And then I get notices about how hot it is. So did it reach 40 degrees?
Yes. Well, it felt like it's one of those.
Right. So like sitting at 36, but feels like 42. Yeah. So that was the heat wave that came through while I was away.
And there's one now. Like we've just done a couple of days of it as well.
Ridiculous.
So talking about the heat, this just only happened today. The guy said to me, "It's hot in here." And I just thought, yeah, it is. It is hot in here. But he was like seriously saying, "It's hot in here." And he's like, "Can you do anything about it?" I said, "No, not really. Like, what do you want me to do?" And he said, "Well, can you not put your air conditioner on?" I said, "It's on, sir." I said, "It's just not coping very well." And I said, "And people opening the doors and then opening it for Auntie Rita to toddle off down the road and waiting for her to come in. You're letting all of the air in." But he was like a bit pissed. He says, "Can't you do anything about it?" "And what do you want me to do? Stand there and fan you, sir?"
Yeah.
Like he got a little bit pissy about it. But I thought initially he was just like, "Oh my God, it's hot in here." And I was like, "Yeah, it is." And then he went, "Can you do anything about it?" I was like, "Oh, you're actually serious here. Like, I've got to address this with you."
Would you like to stand there and we can point one of our 5,000 fans that we have going around the back of house?
Plug it in. It could be next to you.
You think you're hot, sir? You come out the back and work.
Come and stand where
in front of the
standing.
ovens.
We just keep standing near the big blue fan and like lifting our shirt up a bit and it blowing up so that we can get cool again.
Honestly, the amount of fans that we have, but it's so good. You can't live. You just need the airflow. Anyway,
it's the airflow.
I'm interrupting your heat
No,
stories.
it's fine. So talking about hot and sweaty, when you were away, it was the same. And there were cyclists that came in, so really drippy, very, very sweaty.
Why are you out and about?
I like thinking that too because this can't be good. It can't be good for your health to be cycling in that humidity.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they come in like they're dying. Their zips are all down. They've got their chests out and they're dripping. You can just... And I walk past I didn't have any drinks. I was walking back into the restaurant.
With an empty tray.
And this guy lifted his arm up and his forearm smudged onto my face.
Oh
no, Joe. I was like, oh,
so gross.
And I'm small, so I was at the arm height and he moved his arm out and it just went, and I had this big, wet, slushy
someone else's sweat all over your face.
My face. And he's like, "Oh, sorry, love." And I'm like, "Oh my God, man, that's
Let me just shower myself down while I take your sweat off." Oh, yuck.
That was the most disgusting thing.
Oh, that's so unfortunate for you. Bloody cyclist.
I had a big smear on my glasses. I had to clean my glasses. So revolting. Today they came in and they got caught in the rain and there's just water everywhere.
Oh.
Yeah, they had to get the mop out and mop the floors.
That's terrible, Muriel.
So there hasn't been many funny stories that I can recall. Just ordinary, everyday today stuff. One dude came in, looked like he had his hair cut with a knife and fork. We laughed about that. It's an awful haircut.
Well, can you describe that? Because I just have visual images of somebody standing behind me with a knife and fork trying to cut it. So what did it actually look like?
It just looked all choppy and...
Was it long or was it short?
Well, he had a mullet. Oh. So it was long.
Already knife and fork situation.
The front was really short, like his fringe or his bangs
were
really short, but they weren't even. It was just like, it's like your mum had done it, like a bit blunt across, but not quite even. And then at the sides, there was no like sideburns. I'm guessing this might be a trend, I don't know. But it was all like just so blunt, like your mum had put a bowl on the front of your head and done it. And I was like, oh my God, dude, that's the most terrible haircut I've ever seen.
Oh my goodness.
So that was funny. Took myself down to the lake for some walks while you were gone. I'm like, what am I going to do with myself? But I was behind a real life Margaret in Starbucks.
Okay.
I always find in Starbucks there is a little bit of a wait on drinks when they're busy. There seems to be one poor person trying to do, and then one person on cold drinks and there's just one person. But There was a lady in front of me and we'd been standing there, and then she leant across and she said, "Excuse me, is my drink nearly ready?" It's a venti vanilla latte, whatever it was. And the lady said, "Is it for Margaret?" And I was like, oh my God.
Was it for Margaret?
Yeah. She was in real life Margaret, finding out where her drink was. And I'm like, oh, this is gold.
That's brilliant.
This is gold. Her
That's
name was
so
actually, she went,
good.
"Yes, it's for Margaret." She goes, "It's just coming." I'm like, go Margaret. You have a Margaret story.
I do
when you were in New Zealand.
I
Margaret's
messaged you about it.
Yeah.
So my mum and I were sitting at a cafe, and we were sitting at the front, and I was facing in towards the cafe rather than facing out towards the street. So I was watching what was happening indoors. And as we're sitting there, me and my mum are chit-chatting, having our coffee, these ladies start walking in, and it's of a different age range. So when the older ladies kind of get together, you've got the late 80s lady who comes in with her walking frame, and she's a little bit more frail, and she's got old Ruth next to her that's coming in with, you know, not as grey hair, but she's kind of assisting her. And then you've got all the other little ladies that kind of range in between that age, and they're all just, "Oh, Susie, hello. Oh, so good, love. It's lovely to see you. Have you ordered yet?" No, I haven't ordered yet. "Oh, I've got myself a muffin. I don't know where it is." So anyway, that's what's happening. They're sitting right in front of us. And then Mum and I are chatting, and I look up, and the little old ladies have gone. I'm like, what's happened? But I've clocked that there's two women who are sitting down on their laptops in the same table. And I was like, what's going on in the cafe? So I look over where these two women had been working, because I clocked them earlier. And on the other side of the cafe, these little old ladies had been there. And I was like, oh, a table swap, okay? And I think it was actually a communicative table swap, because they actually swapped with somebody rather than just grabbed a different table. And I think it was because the table was a little bit longer, but also placed oddly, so they don't actually have that much more space. So these little old ladies come around the table, they sit down, and then the server comes around. She's got 2 coffees in one hand, plate of a muffin in the other hand. This little old love at the end of the table, "Is it a blueberry muffin? The blueberry muffin? I ordered a blueberry muffin. I think that's mine." "It's an apple muffin." "Oh, that's not. I ordered a blueberry muffin." "No, Judy, I ordered an apple muffin." "Oh, okay. Well, do you have my blueberry muffin coming?" And he's like, "Yep, it's on its way." Okay. Is that it is a spicy chai? Is that my drink?" Like, I just sat there and laughed with my mum, and I was like, look, a real life Margaret situation. They're everywhere in the world.
There's like, always one.
Come on, love,
in a group.
Calm your farm.
Yeah.
Just, the server had her arms full. It was a very busy day. We just saw people coming in and out. I was like, just chill yourself.
It's coming, lady.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
it was very
There's always
entertaining.
one vocal one that's trying to, "Oh, yep, that's yours. That's yours, Doris." And then like being in charge of everything. It's so funny.
Oh, it was so funny. In this particular cafe too, I didn't tell you this at the time, but I just was watching them and I was like, this is what we used to do. This is so chaotic. And I have a feeling that it's a lot of what New Zealand cafes do, which I'd forgotten about. Mm-hmm. But it's you come into a cafe, you can either find your seat straight away, sit down, make yourself at home, and then go up to the counter and order. Mm-hmm. Or you go up to the counter and order, you get given a table number, you go and sit wherever you want to go and sit. So if you've come in and you want to take a seat, but then you turn around after you've got your table number and there's nowhere to sit, that's your problem.
It's exactly the same in England, in cafes.
Yeah. And which is kind of what we used to do and where we work. And I just kind of looked around. And then sure enough, the servers have a whole bunch of armful of stuff. And they're like, "Where's number 5?
Oh, my God.
Number 5? Yeah. And I was like, we used to do this. That's so chaotic. I'm so glad we don't do that anymore. It was ridiculous.
Because when you go in a cafe in England, you'd be saying, Mum, there's a seat.
Yeah.
You sit
down.
Go
grab the seat.
Yeah. Which is what happened. I didn't know you were going to say that. Oh, my God. Honestly. Oh. Thank God.
Yeah. Thank goodness we don't do that anymore. What I will say about going into cafes, especially where my mum lives, because it's a dairy farming cow. A dairy... dairy farming town. Which the reason why I said this is because of another thing I need to tell you about, which I didn't tell you about when I was there, because I was like, I want to save it for the podcast. So it's a dairy farming town where my mum lives. It's a small town. I love it. There's no traffic lights. You've got a whole bunch of roundabouts. It's great. You're sitting in the cafe and in comes the farmer with his gumboots on and his swanny on, which is just like a you and I were talking about this, like it's waxed
It's a
rain
waxed
jacket.
coat, and I can't remember Burberry. I can't remember what they're called, but yes,
Yeah.
and you have to treat it. Yeah,
And it's just like, you just know that these guys have come in to get something from the hardware store or from some farming store, and they've just come in for their cup of coffee. And it was one of those things where I just sat there and I'm like, yep, you're in New Zealand. Like, it was just, I loved it. It was so good. But this particular farming town has a whole bunch of statue cows. I'm trying to figure out the words that I can use. So they're life size.
yeah.
They're dotted around the main street of the town. If you live in New Zealand and you've ever gone through this town, you know exactly what it is. And then at the other end of the town, there's this humongous cow. It's called Mabel. She's huge. She's like taller than the building that she's in front of. But there was one cow, and each cow that's outside of a business, it's kind of designed like the business that is in front of it. Not all
Okay.
of them, but some of them. The one outside the pharmacy has some like pharmacy story on the cow, and then there was another that was outside the real estate shop, and that had a whole bunch of different houses on it and things
Right.
like
Okay.
that. It was created for a reason, but there was this one cow that I took a picture of, and it was dressed as it was created as a cyclist. I took a picture of it for you.
You kidding me?
I was like, this is freaking awesome. It was so good. I was like, look, there's a cyclist cow.
You have to post that.
I
have
will
to
post
see
that. It was so funny. I just stood there and I kind of laughed there for a second. But yeah, it's great. Also, as a side note, I will also plug the fact that this particular town, I feel like, has the last video shop in the world.
Oh, like a
Like,
mini
like a Blockbuster? Yeah, it's called United Video. It's still owning and operating. You can still go in and you can still hire DVDs. How cool is that?
DVDs or VHS? Actually, I don't. Do New Zealand VHS or you? What was that other one called? Betamax.
No, VHS.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway,
yeah.
I drove past and I was like, that's still open? And Mum was like, yep, it's still open. I'm like, look at them go. I felt so proud of them.
Who's got a DVD player these days?
I do. But
I don't think we have ours anymore.
I don't know who. I mean, clearly people in this town, they would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they have to.
Why?
Support local.
Oh, yeah.
You need a DVD player. Right.
Anyway, that's our. We got another stories?
Nope, that's my news.
Okay.
Oh, actually, do you want to move on to... We got another email.
Yes.
Yes. What are you laughing at?
I said, do you want to move?
Oh, God. Our jokes
Sorry.
are back. We got another email regarding our... What would you take if you were evacuated from a building?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to tell the story?
This was a Milo question that we got. Who the heck knows when?
Yep.
We should probably record this, like the Milo questions that we do and what episode they were on, but we don't. And there you go.
I have no idea when that one was. Anyway,
So Milo's question was, if you had to leave a burning building, what would you take with you? And I shared the story of my mum and I and our friend Jodie in Vanuatu, and we had an earthquake, and my mum all of a sudden was like, I got to put my bra on. And so we got an email from Jamie, who used to work where we work, and still is a family local. She's a part of the family, whether she works with us or not.
Yep. It's just how it is.
Yeah. And so she emailed us in and said, listening to the episode, I think episode 8, where Milo's question about the first thing you would bring in an emergency is and due to recent events, the fire at the apartment. I have first-hand experience as to what I did and what I should have done. I woke up to the alarm going off, and we had a few false alarms over the months being there, so we didn't rush to get out the door. Because I was in bed, like Joella's mum, the first thing I thought was, oh well, I need to put a bra on. So I did that. And then I went to pee, and I was walking back to my room to get my shoes when my roommate opened the door and there was smoke. So we started rushing to get out, and my first thought was, I need my passport, social security card, and my cash savings. Luckily, after the false alarm, because I panicked then, I realised I didn't grab those things, so I had them all in the same place ready to go just in case. I had my phone with me, but as soon as we saw the smoke and ran out the door, we realised that neither of us grabbed our keys. After everything, we never went back up to the apartment because as soon as we could leave, we were stuck in another person's apartment trying to evacuate, but got stuck 10 floors down from us on the 10th floor. We went outside and we weren't allowed back in. So we didn't have our car keys to the apartment or anything. I just had a passport, my phone, and a pocket full of cash, like my emergency savings from tips. So it was a couple of grand, which is great. But I was giggling while listening because my first thought was also to put a bra on and grab my passport, but totally forgot my keys and glasses. They weren't allowed back in their apartment for weeks afterwards because there was quite a lot of damage happening. And so that's the thing that she realised, that she would if there's ever a next time, she would have to remember to take her keys with her.
Yeah, I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
Because then you can't go anywhere.
No.
Like you are stuck.
Well, I would have my work keys are attached to my keys. My sister's house key is attached to my keys. Yeah.
You need to
get out to your car and you can't even get in it. That'd be a bit of a bummer.
It would. Can you come and get me?
So, yes, that's her real life experience. Thank you so much, Jamie, for sending that through.
Yeah, so thank you. Thanks for the emails. So keep sending them in. It was quite exciting when they pop up.
It was really fun too, because we know Jamie, we see her often when she pops in, but it was still nice to hear her experience of she'd had a long drive, and so she was listening and catching up to episodes as she was driving and had a couple of thoughts. And it was just really neat. It kind of felt like we were a part of her journey as well. Yeah. As she'd listened and wrote us in.
And people are always like showing us, I'm on this episode now. And I'm like, oh yeah, I've forgotten about that.
What have we saying that one?
I know. Remember. I don't even remember. All right.
Shall we take a quick break and we'll come back?
Yes, let's do that.
We'll be back. Alrighty, we're back, and for our favourite section of our episode, actually every section is a favourite section.
But who does that?
Or
what did we call it last time? Why would you do that?
Why would you do that?
But mine is, mine's both. Who does that and why would you do that?
Okay.
Sure,
fire away.
This is from home.
Like your house or from UK?
From my house, where I live now. So do you know what a draining board is?
No.
It's next to your sink and you put plates and bowls in it after you've washed them up. They stay there and they drain the water off.
Do you call it a draining board?
I do.
Oh.
What do you call it?
I would call it, the word was right there in my brain, a drying rack.
Okay. So the idea of it is that you put your things on there for them to drain. Right. So in my household, often, not always, just to clarify, things will go in the draining board upside down.
Okay, so a bowl has water in it that you've just washed.
Well, you've just washed it. It doesn't have water in it, but once you've turned it upside down, any water that's on it is then going to pool into the bowl.
Okay.
Instead of drain
outside of it because it's turned the right side up.
So things will be upside down.
Okay.
When I'm clearing the draining board, I'm like, I have to wipe this up. It's been there all day, but it's still wet because it's up the wrong way. Yesterday I got in and there was 2 Pyrex jugs washed up.
Standing upright?
Yeah. I took a picture because I'm like, that is just perfect, because I knew I was going to talk about this. And I'm like,
that? Who does that? Clearly someone in your house does that, but come on.
And the other thing is, you put it on the draining board and then there's not a lot that goes in there. It's just some few things that don't go in the dishwasher, or you're going to need to use it again and you can't wait for the dishwasher, blah, blah, blah.
Sure.
I'll go to work and there's stuff in the draining board which is dry, but then somebody will come along and do more stuff and then plop it on the top and then it's wet again. So annoying.
Clearly this has happened to you more than once in your life for it to be an irritation of yours.
It is, yeah, because I might have put some things in there and then I've gone off to work and then I've come back from work and I'm like, okay, I'll clear this. And I'm like, oh, there's my stuff from this morning or from last night underneath this bowl that's just been washed. And now it's wet again.
And now it's wet.
It happens a lot.
And you actually have to dry the thing rather than what the purpose of the draining board is just to wash and walk away. Wash and walk away.
Wash and walk away. Put your bowls and
the right side up, which is upside down.
I worked with somebody once that was cleaning a sieve and questioned why the sieve wouldn't clean.
What?
So they had a sieve, you know, like a,
it's a sieve.
It's a sieve.
Yep.
Sieve everywhere. But was rinsing it at work the right way up, that is like as if you were sieving something, and wondered why the bits weren't coming out the sieve, because you've got to turn it upside down and rinse it for them to come out. There's a reason why they're stuck in the sieve. They're not going to go through the holes, and you're washing it expecting them to go through the holes. And I was looking, this won't rinse out, Helen, this won't rinse out. And I'm like, no.
Turn it upside down.
It won't rinse out. Doesn't matter how long you take. I should have just said, just give it another 10 minutes. Said, If you turn it up the other way and spray it, it's like magic. It's like, oh my God.
Oh, okay.
Common sense.
It's
I
learned.
was watching it happen and I'm like, what's going on here? I can't get it. It won't wash away. Oh, it's funny. It's funny how that happens. It's serious. Anyway, do you have one?
I do have, I think it's a who does that. It's a flight one.
Oh, good.
And I noticed it on my flight back from LA to Toronto, which is a 4.5 hour flight.
Right.
I was sitting by the window.
Mm-hmm.
2 people sat next to me.
Mm-hmm.
The aisle and then the toilet. Right?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, it's sitting in the toilet.
Yep. Which I usually don't mind on long hauls because there's a little bit more space, but this was a tiny airplane. So when anybody was lining up for that toilet, they were all crowding around where we were sitting. And it was it's an airplane toilet. They're tiny. I'm looking at that toilet and I'm thinking to myself, who would even try and join the Mile High Club on a plane like this?
Did somebody do it?
No.
Oh.
But
that was in your thought.
That was in my thoughts. Like, who would do that? First of all, there's no room in that toilet.
No,
like,
you can barely fit one person in.
Yeah. It bamboozles me. Anyway, I did have a chat with some of the girls at work and someone was like, well, I can see how it happens. And I was like, have you joined the Mile High Club? She didn't answer. I didn't really circle back to that particular question.
I just think it's so awkward when, imagine like one's going to leave and then they can't come out together.
But you can't even go in together.
No.
There's 3 people sitting right there. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, if that's the lane that you want to sit in, have at it, all power to you.
Yeah.
But also, it just boggles my mind. I'm like, everyone's going to know.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to hear. It's a tiny aeroplane.
Maybe you have to do it on a long haul one.
Maybe.
Is there seats next to? But there's still people watching. Be like, oh, there's 2 people gone in there. We even do it at work. Those people have gone in there together.
Yeah. So the long haul ones are different because it is a 3, 4, and 3 seating situation. For example, the flight that I took back from New Zealand, I flew from Auckland to Los Angeles, and it was a 12-hour flight. I left Auckland at 8 p.m, and so we were flying through the night.
Mm-hmm.
So a majority of that flight, it was dark in the airplane and people were just asleep. On those moments, 100%, because I've now kind of figured out where I like to sit in an airplane. I quite like the back of the airplane or further at the back. I will choose an aisle seat and I'll choose a seat actually closer to the toilets because...
We're not going to be sitting next to each other, but we travel.
No, but
I am not sitting near a toilet.
There's room. There's so much room.
No.
That's okay. We don't have to sit next to each other. I mean, we're going to be in business class, so it doesn't actually matter.
Fine.
But it's just... And then behind me was also the alleyway or the alley or the cabin or the area where they're also prepping food or some of where the drinks are sitting. So you actually don't have anyone behind you. You've just mentally, I had space behind me. And there were a couple of times where I just stood up and there was a little area that was by the emergency door. And so I just did some stretches because I was going a little bit crazy in that flight. Those particular toilets, I can definitely see 2 people popping in there and having a good time because everyone's asleep. You've got 12 hours. But still, who does that?
Yeah.
Come on, guys. Seriously. That's a tiny, tiny situation. I was like, there's not a lot of space in there.
You can't even turn around without banging into something.
Right?
Oh, well.
Anyway.
All power to you. Right in. Let us know how it's
if
done.
you have a Mile High story that you want to email and we'd love to hear it, even though I've just said, who does that?
Yeah, who does that? People that are a bit more adventurous, I would say. I'd be like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
No space in there.
Yeah. Anyway, that was my who does it. Okay.
Milo's question of the week.
Thank you very much for your questions, Milo. Going to New Zealand, everyone was fascinated by you, by the way, even though you haven't listened to any episodes other than episode 1.
Yeah. Bloody hell, Milo. Sort it out.
But I got a lot of questions of, what's Milo like? It was great.
I told him that, and he said he wants to do like a silhouette picture of himself. So he's just like, oh, what does he look like in this? You
were very famous in New Zealand, Milo. Everyone was curious about who you were and what you were like. And it was delightful to answer because you are a delightful human being who ask us these kinds of questions.
Yes.
Your question for today is, if everyone in the world disappeared for a year, could you survive on your own?
Where have these people gone?
He didn't specify,
Right.
but he only said a year. So because he's not here and he can't defend himself, let's say that they are coming back after a year.
Yeah.
You know they're coming back after a year. Can you survive by yourself?
But everyone's gone.
Everyone's gone.
I'm going to say no.
You can't survive in the world by yourself for a year?
Well, no.
You were so prepared for fighting this.
Everyone's gone. I'm not just talking about your friends and your family. Everyone's gone.
Every single
I'd
human
like
on the
to put some
planet.
petrol in my car.
Every single
I
person
can't.
on the planet is gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Tell me how you're going to survive.
Because I said yes.
You did say yes.
I did say yes.
Right.
And Milo
I'm
was very
ready.
surprised. He's like, you would? Like, you think you could? And I was like, yeah.
Where are you going to live?
Anywhere and everywhere. So this is what I was thinking, right? You were telling me before, like, the supermarkets, no one's there to restock the shelves. I've got legs. I can walk. There's a supermarket here. There's a supermarket down there. Like, I can live my life going from one supermarket to the next
Who's
supermarket.
opening the door, Joe?
It's glass, Helen. I'll break the glass.
Oh, you're breaking the glass. Okay, because there's no policeman. They're not going to
No,
come and get you.
I'm a year by myself.
Okay.
Do I care about whether I'm trying
Yeah,
to
but
open
there's
the door
nobody
properly or
that's
not?
turned the lights on, so there's no freezer food because that's done.
So I'm not trying to survive on freezer food.
What are you surviving on in there then? Just
all the
cans.
canned things, I'll grab all the vegetables and fruits and just eat them before they start going off. I mean, people have survived on Spam. I mean, it's not the best, but
No.
also beans.
Everything's cold.
There's
Okay.
things called fires. I can make one.
Oh, okay. You can make a fire.
Like, and then I was thinking, well, I could probably find a couple of dogs that have just been left, that have been pets. I'll take them with me, train them up. They can be my buddies. And then they could be my hunting dogs.
Oh, okay. Go
There's
and hunt
so
me
many
a can of corn
opportunities.
from that supermarket.
The scope for it, but I was like, just think of all the apocalypse movies that's ever been made.
No, I'm not buying it.
Oh,
I think that there's...
I think I have in me maybe a delirious, but also not adventurous. But I think I've got the human nature in there for me to survive, and I would do whatever I
and
could
the determination.
to survive.
And
Determination.
also,
There we go.
at the end of the day, you just like to say, I told you I'd still be here.
But if you think about an entire year, it's not going to be in a month's time, then all the trees are going to overgrow everything and then everything's going to be wild. I don't know. I think I've got it mapped out that I could probably survive. I could find some guns in the area, go to a local gun
Oh,
shop,
for God's sake.
go hunting for myself, learn how to skin something. Like,
Well, what are you going to do? You're not going to be able to look on Google because there's no electric. How are
we
you
have
gonna learn?
survived. The human race has survived for over 2,000 years already, Helen.
Yeah, but where's your
Prior to
encyclopedia? Where's your encyclopedia on how to skin a rabbit?
You learn by making mistakes.
Oh my God, you're going to have to shoot a lot of rabbits.
I think I have the nous in me to be able to survive.
I think this is a longer conversation and each month has to be written down. And then every time you put something down, I'm going to have to say, well, this isn't happening because this person isn't here.
But I don't have to rely on other people to be able to, oh my goodness, I don't know how to open a can.
No, I know
gonna
that you don't
figure
have to
out how to
rely
open a
on
can.
people to do that kind of stuff. But if there is nobody here in the world, there's nobody collecting any garbage, there's nobody doing anything,
Yeah?
I think that we might be a bit screwed.
Why?
Well, because there's nobody there.
Yep.
You're not going to be able to put gas in your car. You're going to have to walk everywhere.
Then you just hop in your car.
You can't go and buy a
You
new pair of
go-
shoes because there's nobody at the shoe shop when they run out. What are you hopping in your car for? You got no gas.
I'd have the gas that I'd have in my car,
Oh.
and then I'd break down, and then I'd just go hotwire another car. Or
Get out
break
of
into their
town.
house because the car's right outside their door, find where the car keys are, hop on their car, travel along until I run out of gas. Come on, man. Have you not seen any of the zombie movies or any of the apocalypse movies?
no.
Like, I've just got all these plans in my mind. I'm like, do I know how to fly a helicopter? No, I don't.
Oh my
Could I
God.
read some books and find some books in a library about how to fly a helicopter? Probably.
'cause
There's
you're gonna
library
be-
books out there.
You're going to be breaking a lot of windows.
I think I could
Oh.
survive, and I think I'm pretty confident in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, good
Clearly
for you.
you
I'm
wouldn't,
just coming back in.
Because
No,
you're like, who's going to take out my garbage?
I'm not going to. No, I just don't think I would be able to. Anyway, I think I'd be too lonely.
I mean, even though you knew that everybody was coming back in a year,
Yeah.
you couldn't survive by yourself?
I don't think I'd want to. I'd be one of those people that just disappear for a year on a beach and then just come back and see how you're doing.
What do you mean disappear for a year?
He didn't say where we were disappearing to.
Oh, like the human race has disappeared. So I'm
You're
in the
just
world
here.
by myself surviving, and you've just
We've
gone on
gone
the
off to
beach.
this other, I don't know, make-believe place and having a great old time.
What if in his scenario, everybody's been sent off to their own deserted planet, unbeknownst to you, unbeknownst to me, we're all living by ourselves for a year.
Oh, that's grim.
Yeah.
That's grim. I was trying to think of it in a taskmaster way, like he hasn't said where we're going and this is where we could be.
I mean, that's true. My brain also went to Avengers Endgame.
Yeah, haven't seen it.
Oh. You haven't seen Avengers movies?
No.
None of them?
I don't think so.
TJ, what are you doing with your mother? You should make her watch Avengers movies.
No, I don't think I have. TJ would just go by themselves, knowing that I probably wouldn't enjoy it.
Oh. Well,
Also,
my balloon's been deflated a little
yeah,
bit,
it has.
but that's okay.
Amelia will be yelling at.
Yeah, Amelia, you yell at your aunt.
Yeah.
Aunt? Auntie.
Yeah.
Are you aunt?
Yes. I'm just Helen,
Wow.
but I'm an aunt. Yeah.
But do you say auntie or do you say aunt in the UK?
They don't call me Auntie Helen. No.
No, just in general,
Yes. Aunt and uncles. Yeah.
but not auntie.
No, I would be Auntie Helen.
Okay.
Yeah, not Aunt Helen. That's weird. Sounds like Aunt.
Like we took a long
can
time
I
to
quickly
get there.
Can I quickly just say that Joe and I had the most funniest message swap when you first got there, and you told me that you were sorting out your stuff from the what's it called? What are they called?
A shipping
Shipping container. And she said that she was putting it. This is what I heard. I'm clearing out. Me and Mum helped put it in the green flat. On the green flat or something, and I'm like,
In. It would have been in.
in. Okay, so I heard on. So I'm like, on a green flat? And I've not got you to ask, and I'm listening to it on WhatsApp. I'm like, oh, there must be an area that's like a playground or like a tarmac area that's green, and they're going to put it all on there and sort it out. So I messaged you back and said, I don't know what a green flat is. And it's a granny flat.
I respond with granny, Helen. It's a granny flat.
But when you said it, you didn't say granny flat. It was very fast.
there is absolutely nowhere in the world of my vocabulary I would have said green flat.
No, I know, but
Okay.
you said granny so fast.
Oh, okay.
And not it just said, yeah, we're going to put it on a green flat, like that. And it was granny flat. And I went, a green flat? What's that? Then you told me granny flat, and I was howling.
I was laughing too.
Oh,
when I was
it
like,
was so
oh, that's
funny.
a granny flat.
And I'm like, oh, a granny flat. And then you said it again later on in conversation. I'm like, I'm still hearing bloody green flat, even though I know it's a granny flat. I knew that you'd be wetting yourself about that. And then I was doing the same this end. So anyway, I had to bring that in because that's
very
obviously
funny.
when you were away.
For context, for the North American people who have absolutely no idea what a granny flat is, would you know what a granny flat
Yes.
is?
But the granny flats are normally attached to houses here. That yours isn't.
Okay, so in New Zealand, a granny flat is like an in-laws suite. That's probably the equivalent of what it would be in North America, or I say
It's
North
separate
America
from
as a
your
continent.
mum and Paul's
So
house.
it's mum's one is separate. It's just at the back of their house, and it's a separate living area. So it's actually attached to the garage.
Mm-hmm.
And inside it has its own kitchenette. It has its own bedding. It has its own living area, and it has its own bathroom. So it's its own dwelling space.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing it doesn't have is a laundry, and it's separate from where Mum and Paul live. I actually lived there at one point in my life.
Yeah.
But that's a granny flat. It can also be attached to the house.
Right.
But it's the same concept. It's just a separate living area where you can either rent out or your in-laws or your parents would live there
Yeah.
if they were a little bit older. But we call it a granny flat in New Zealand, not a green flat.
Not a green flat. Right.
Oh, goodness.
That was a funny
It
moment.
is absolutely delightful to be back in
It
person
is.
with everybody
Yes.
and with you, my friend.
Yes,
And to
with
do
you.
this, we were setting everything up and we're like, oh, how do you do this again? And
I know. 3
tried
weeks
to
was a
put
long
things
time.
together, and you put your headphones on without putting your microphone together.
I put my headphones on first. And I hadn't even set anything else up. I'm like, oh, I've forgotten what I'm doing. What a wally.
Oh, what a wally. Well, we hope you've enjoyed this hour-long episode rather than a slightly shorter one. We're back to normal for the foreseeable moment.
Yep.
If you'd like to get in touch with us, the email address is pod.andanotherthing@gmail.com. I didn't spell it that time.
I missed the POD. I think you should do it again.
pod.andanotherthing@gmail.com. You can find us on Instagram. We are And Another Thing Podcast. But for now, thanks so much for joining us.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And for you guys, have a great
good
idea.
idea.